Hey everyone. So I have noticed that my subscribers are going up, not a lot. So the beginning of this week, I think I was at 27, and now I'm at, I think, 58. So we're not talking big numbers, but I feel at this point that, you know, dozens are listening, which is funny to say because it's not that many. But I thought it was time that I made a video for those of you who are paying attention, and let's talk. So the first thing I'll say is that I highly recommend that you go to bioware.app and read all of it if you can. I mean, it's an investment of 15 minutes, maybe. This video will likely be longer than that, and it will allow me to cover from what's already written to describe what's next live. And for once, it's not 3 o'clock in the morning. It's 3:49 in the afternoon here in beautiful Denver, Colorado, downtown. So let's start at the end. And I think that the first thing that I'll say is that in my experience, it is far better to start something with the end in mind. And this seems like a very obvious tenet, but very, very few people do that. They react and they go on emotion, and they start something, and then they don't finish it. I am cursed, I guess you would say, with the opposite. I don't ever start something that I don't intend to finish, and I do. I finish everything, and if I don't finish it, there's a very good reason, because I am a problem solver. That's what I do. That's how my brain is built, and if I cannot solve the problem, let's use my pain, for example, my disability, my neuropathy. I'm engaged in cognitive behavioral therapy, and that is using my brain to I'm able to weaponize my brain against the pain in a way. I guess that's a good way to describe it, as well as take the pain itself. I was describing to my CBT therapist today, who I won't name, of course, but I was saying that it's unfortunate because I'm going to want to solve the problem, but the only thing that is a hard wall is reality. And the reality is that my biological body is experiencing chronic pain in it's called peripheral neuropathy. So from the periphery, right, meaning my extremities, so the bottoms of my feet are ground zero. I can't feel them. This is all on the Swedish hospital case study that you'll see. I had to have surgery, and because I was walking so much and I couldn't feel the bottoms of my feet, I was taking 17 to 20,000 steps a day. It doesn't sound very disabled to me. I was excited to learn that. But given that I can't feel the bottoms of my feet, I quite literally wore a hole in the bottoms of my feet down to the bone. So, I have pictures. I won't share them because it's just, no, it's very off-putting to say the least. But nonetheless, that's what happens. And so the pain that comes from this neuropathy is real. And it's a problem for me because I can do a lot with it. My brain is very powerful. I'm able to take and inspect the pain and make friends with it, and because I say good morning to it because it's there every morning when I wake up, so why not say good morning? Same goes with saying goodnight. It's with me all the time that I'm alert and I'm awake. So that's one form of accepting that I'm able to do that just helps, but I'm not going to be able to solve the problem because there is the pain, and I am on very strong opioids to just sort of as a blunt object take care of the pain. I have a patch that I'm prescribed and some pills, some sublingual pills, meaning that I put them under my tongue and they dissolve, and those are pretty instantaneous. And so, that's as good as I can do, and that is in conjunction with the CBT and on the other things that I do, such as now I pamper my feet. I have to, I only wear slippers. I can't wear pants. I wear shorts for the most part. I put on comfortable sweatpants when I go out and about in the world because, it's not shorts weather. But those pants will flare up the neuropathy because they're touching the bottom part of my leg and they rub up against it. And even though it's just cotton, with denim especially, it's heavy and it'll cause pain. It's crazy. So anyway, being a problem solver at heart, it's going to be frustrating for me not to be able to solve that problem. What I encountered yesterday at the Department of Human Services, being armed with the information that I have, and we all just say it, knowledge is power. But when you really, really know, and because I asked my wife right as I was walking up there, I said, do I have a right to read the software that the state uses to communicate? Specifically, I'm sending files that they're requesting, and I'm scanning in these documents, and suddenly I'm just doing this on my phone, but you can't see it, but it's a folding phone, a Z Fold 7, so it's the newest. The trifold is coming. I'm not going to get it, but I want to. I think I described that in another video. But anyway, and I obviously speak computer. I speak computer as well as I speak English and Spanish, and when I'm going to send these files, they're only, so they cap them on the website, they cap them at 10 megabytes per file, and you can attach up to 10 files. And if you just do the simple math on that, that's 100 megabytes maximum. That's nothing. Nothing. If you know anything about computers, that that should be so instantaneous. But here I have the video on my iPhone that I recorded of me using the software and the Android, and there's that loading screen. 7 minutes. It's called Meatware, and it's when coders get in there and they're up to no good, so they put in the coding, long wait times, unnecessary loading times, error messages. They can cover their tracks if they're really good and just say, oh, well, there's a conflict and, whatever. But they don't anticipate a person like me walking in there, especially since we're talking about public services, SNAP benefits and things like that. And the government is making a calculation. It's a bet that I'm not going to walk through the door. Well, I did. And I'm there. And once you see it, guys and gals, you can't unsee it. You can't unsee. I'm walking up to the Department of Home Services yesterday, Department of Human Services, here on Federal Boulevard in Denver. And on the and by the way, they assume you're going to take the bus because, again, they know that their clientele, the people who generally use SNAP benefits, Medicaid, things like that, they're categorized in a what's the word I'm looking for? You guys, you know the word I'm talking about, a demographic. There you go. And they're in a demographic that doesn't have money. They don't have a car. They don't, they're not. Maybe they can get a lift these days. That's, pretty inexpensive. But the point is, the majority of people take the bus. So the building is designed with that in mind, knowing that you're going to be walking from the bus station, and it's it's like an arterial route, and where the Department of Human Services is right at the intersection of like Colfax and Federal Boulevard. So I-25 is right there. If you guys know the area, it's just outside of downtown. It's where it's if you close your eyes and you imagine where it would be if you know about government buildings, it's right where it's supposed to be, essentially. And it's if your pattern recognition is strong, you'll be able to walk to it without knowing where it is almost. And so, as you're walking from the bus station to the I'm going to show you guys this. It's on the website. I put it on there too, but I want to show it to you. And I don't know how this has come through, but here is the video, as you can see, and you can't hear it. Let me turn it up. Oh, dang it. I knew it's going to happen. Sorry, guys. And you can't hear it. Sorry, I'm trying to. So basically, there's no basic. What it says verbatim: you are in a restricted area. Leave immediately. Not please. Just leave immediately. What does that make you want to do? Does that make you want to stay? That they're on a bullhorn, like you're at a compound. It's bizarre. And again, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Most people just don't see it. But I did. Of course I did. I took public transportation on purpose. I got the money to take a lift. I get there and so I have the money to take a limo every time if I want. But I don't, because I want the experience and I want to walk in having felt the experience that they want you to feel. And, obviously I'm a machine, so it doesn't really affect me. This cacophony of all these things and the way they give you the number, but the numbers don't go in order, and so you're on edge. Am I next? Am I not next? Who knows? And then when you get to the counter, of course I know all this going into it, but the gal behind the counter, in like this last grasp for, and they're trained to do this. These are humans, of course, but they're highly trained meatware. And this is what I'm getting to in this whole video here, but they're trained. And oh, by the way, the Freedom of Information Act request that I sent include their training. I want it. I want to see it. I'm going to go through their code line by line as a linguist. Computer language, but linguist nonetheless. It'll jump, like I said on on the website, it'll jump off the page like bad English to me. I'm very good at language and English and writing and all of that. It's something I've spent a lifetime. I don't think you ever get perfect, but perfecting is an act. I have worked on that. And so when I see bad English, in any form, text, just a hurried text or whatever, it just jumps out at me. I mean, I learned everything I need to know from a misspelling. I can understand why if they're in a hurry or whatever. I don't want to get into the weeds on that. But the code that they put to this Meatware, it'll jump off the page at me, and I'll have them right where I want them. They can't cover their tracks. They can't cover their tracks on training. Because I promise you, in there is the last thing you do. Huddle up, Meatware. You ask the customer, they probably call them, or the client, or the beneficiary, or the applicant, or whatever term they use. Make sure you ask them for their ticket. My ticket was C036 yesterday, and so, but it's popping up 0328. So I'm thinking, okay, 836. So I'm 8. And all of a sudden, C038 will show up, and I'll be like, did I miss it? Wait a minute. And then it dawned on me, they're not going in order. They do this, even though they hand them to you in order, and we're used to being serviced in something similar to that order, first come, first serve. They don't do that. They do that because it's a psychological tool. Once again, you can't unknow this stuff, so if you don't want to learn this, just turn this off now. So she asked me for my ticket. Of course, I'm me. So I had the ticket so nicely folded in my sling bag that I just pulled it out, and it just folded right down the middle, and it just lightly just dropped it on the counter. And just that act alone, before I started talking, she started shaking. This is the second time I've seen this in about as many weeks. The same thing happened at Social Security when I knew more than they wanted me to. So then I started talking, and I started talking about this information request that I had submitted already. And I'm telling you, she went into factory reset mode. That's all you can call it. She just started just not being aware of her surroundings. She forgot where she was. She couldn't say anything but, I am sorry. That was it. Factory reset. And it's tough to see. I felt really bad for her because in her case, she couldn't do the math quick enough, so she didn't know what she was thinking. But in that moment, I watched someone on the other side of the glass at this, compound that they have set up for us that need these things. And I don't need Snap anymore, of course, because of my benefits that I now get from the government. And I'm just financially, I don't have to worry about it for as long as I live. So that's all good, and I'm very appreciative of that. I worked very hard for that too, for a long time, meaning I'm due the maximum because I made a lot of money during my career. I didn't make less than $140,000 a year for the last decade. I mean, that's on paper, so that's what they're paying me on. Sometimes significantly more. But never less than that, except for the 1 year that I moved to Mexico to open a business down there. And so, just having the amount of information that I had and knowing what I knew, and most importantly, her knowing that I knew. Essentially, she didn't know how much I know, but she knew it was a lot, and it's more than she thinks. But it was interesting. It was a very interesting experience, and it's scary. I could have done a lot with that moment, and I didn't do anything. I just got what I came there for, and I let her know about the Freedom of Information Act request that I had submitted, and which I've already received confirmation of receipt of that and some clarification. So we'll get that here real soon. And I can't wait to go through that code. I'll have updates for you guys, but there's no question that our government is up to. Let me be careful how I say that. Not that I'm afraid, but just I want to be fair. I haven't seen it, so I shouldn't speak on what I haven't seen. I'll just say that. But I'm highly suspicious that it doesn't take 7 minutes to transfer less than, by design, 100 megabytes of data. I know about what we would call that protocol engineering. So even with the most complicated protocol engineering that is available for safety, security, what people commonly know as, oh God, I'm gonna get lost in this. Whatever the mixing up the data and then sending it back. There's a very common term that I'm just missing it right now. But anyway, even with the most complicated protocol engineering available for safety, it just wouldn't take 7 minutes. I mean, it takes a minute to adjust to like what 7 minutes is, like, because we used that subjunctively as like a little bit of time. Dude, that takes 7 minutes, the whole thing, so it doesn't sound like a lot of time in some contexts. But when you're standing there and you're waiting and you have a lot riding on this information that you want to send, you want a big green button that says information received, thank you, you're all done. And you just hit the button and it's done. You don't get that. Of course you don't get that. I have pictures right here of these error messages. Let me show you one right here. I mean, this is from their website. Look at this. Oh, it's live. Whatever. I don't know why they do this, but I guess maybe that's good. But all it says is this is to upload documents. Something went wrong. Huh. Can you expound on something? No, we can't. Because it's a farce. We made it up. The something, if you want to know the truth, is we're fucking with you. That's the something. Well, here's the thing. You don't get to just fuck with me like that. I'm going to push back. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to win. You know why? Because I always win. And you are not, you're a system. You're nothing. You're nothing. You're not as smart as me. You're nowhere near, because you don't have intuition, and you never will. You can be an LLM all you want. That's great. But you're limited. You don't have intuition, and you cannot create outside of your code. And I know this. You can't write your own code. You can, but not to the degree that you can, that you're sentient. Never forget that. So this is where I am at with this. We accept that we are Meatware. We are computers that are capable of performing, adapting just as quickly, if not more quickly in some cases. That's a strength of ours. Our weakness, unfortunately, we filter based on things that don't mean anything. And they know that, and that's why frustration is it's a perfect tactic. Think about it. If you're frustrated, how capable are you? I need you guys to understand this. That is the goal. The goal is that you're so frustrated. You know, I had someone ask me, and you know who you are. And I could tell that you were asking about you, so I answered as such, and I put it on the website. But just think about this for a second. Really think about this. When you get put on hold and you're in an automation shoot, there is another person. It's you, but it's not you. It's the frustrated you, the fed up you, the I have had enough, especially when you get these absurd, like an hour, and this Social Security Administration loves to do this. You'll put in your Social Security number, and then after that, they tell you how long your wait time is. And for me, it's at least 50 minutes, an hour or more. And they're counting on you just changing your mode. That's why sometimes they'll pick up even quicker. That's another tactic. If you guys have ever had that, you'll be on hold and it'll say 50 minutes, and you just get so, I'm like, I cannot believe I'm gonna, when you got your headphones in, or you don't, or you're busy, you're doing some other task or whatever, and but then all of a sudden someone will pick up. Hello, can I help you? That's another tactic. They're trying to catch you before you have a chance to reconcile your frustration and be like, okay, well, you can't game plan. Well, here's the assignment. Game plan before you call. Okay? Do this. Please, I'm asking you, I'm begging you, try it. The next time you pick up a phone and you suspect that you're going to have a long wait, or just accept it, expect it, give yourself the space, the time. I mean, I don't have to be anywhere at any time, so it's easy for me to say, so I apologize. I can't quite give you the solution that fits you, but I can't do bespoke solutions for everything. But find time where you have time. And then it's up to you. If you think it's going to be an hour, and I say this on the website, double it. Give yourself 2 hours. Just err on the side of everything going wrong, because it probably will. That's the whole point. And when they get the you that is focused on getting to the, I don't care how small the problem is, you need to treat it like your life depends on it, because it does. It just does. You have to get that thing, whatever that thing is, done, in the pipeline, on the way, in the mail, done. Check it off your list. Then you can truly move on. If you don't do that, they have you right where they want you. Frustrated, blaming them with no recourse. I'm not saying that you, whoever you are that's still listening to this, you're not capable of solving this problem like I am. I'm not saying that you're not. Maybe you are. But the time that it takes, the commitment, that's why I'm here. I'm going to war. I'm literally turning myself into a machine. Fortenzio Atticus Zistris is a machine. It's an update. It's an upgrade. In order to be a machine, in order to beat a machine, you have to think like a machine. Better yet, you have to be a machine. I'm not delusional. I realize that I'm biological, that I'm human, all that stuff. I'm not a nut. But I am very serious that I know computer science enough to know that our brains are computers. So I am taking it on myself to forge through, to be the machete in the rainforest that just will trailblaze this. And I want you guys to be with me in spirit, in the real efforts that you can do. You know, I promised, I don't know that I promised, but in my head I said, okay. And it, as with any idea, it kind of comes to clarity. All these things I described yesterday that I saw and that I experienced, I can't unexperience them. So this is hot off the press, so to speak. But I am in the business of programming Meatware. I need to give you guys code. And I've given you some already. Some of this code is situational, but being prepared to deal with the automation that you're going to deal with. You can't avoid it. I'm not saying trick yourself into doing it happily or anything like that, but make a game or whatever you're comfortable calling it to just get it done and get it done right. Make sure that your driver's license has your current address on it. Have all of your T's crossed and your I's dotted. That's number one. You can do that starting right now. If your driver's license does not have your address, pause this, go get that done. Take you 10 minutes online. There you go. Take you 7 minutes. Sorry, that's a runner. But seriously, have your stuff in order. Accept. That's a big one. Just accept that you're just going to have to deal with it, but be good at it. Find little games. Remember when we were kids, when I was a kid, other kids of my that I was growing up with had similar experiences, so that's the we in that sentence. But the games that you play when you're taking road trips, license plates from out of state, or we would play a game called I don't remember what it was called, but it was a question-based game. I'm thinking of person, place, or thing, or whatever. These games that we've come up with to pass time, we come up with one of those, but don't let it get you worked up really in any way. Just be the person that wants to solve the problem. Don't do it angrily. Just do it very matter-of-factly. And then if you're looking for a hack or whatever we want to call it, information is power. That's all I'll say. And it really, really is that way. I didn't have to, but I knew the statute or the code that the Colorado law that states that I have a right to this information. I didn't need it, but I had it. I don't have it, but CR 24. I don't recall it now, but I had it memorized in case I needed it in my RAM, and that would have been very powerful, because when you deliver that in such a way, and a lot of it has to do with just how you deliver it, your patience. Man, patience is king. As a plumber, I heard a phrase one time that was from definitely the smartest person I knew in that industry. And we were talking about lift stations and ways to pump sewage up and out and whatever. And he just said so matter-of-factly, he just said, gravity's king. And I mean, it's simple, it's obvious, whatever, but man, it just is. Gravity is king in plumbing. And knowledge is power. It's that simple. So, I work every morning to update the website, bioware.app. But that's because things are coming at me really fast and all that, and I can't promise that it's going to be this active forever, but maybe it will. I don't know what the future holds, but I know I'm onto something. And of the 58 subscribers that I have, I think I'll probably lose some, because this is some pretty deep stuff, and I may have lost some already. So the quantity will probably go down initially, and that's fine. I'm not here for an audience. I'm here for an audience of me, really. But I do have a job to do, and that job requires teamwork, and we need to be prepared. And we need to know how to use the information that we have. And Fortenzio, will take I'll take the lead. I don't have a desire to be a leader or anything like that, but I am just uniquely capable in this regard. I have the life experience, especially with this disability that I've had now for 2 years. It has a different level of entitlement to it. And I mean that word in a positive way for once. I am entitled to certain things that your average person is not. I'm still relatively young to have that. So biologically, I'm just in a good position to take the lead on this. But man, I know enough to know that there's someone out there that is as smart as me, potentially smarter. I don't know. But I invite anyone who would like to help, and help can mean anything. We can talk. My email is on the website. There is no such thing. I mean, there are stupid questions. I hate that saying. But hey, kitty, come on, get down, 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 down. Sorry. But if you have something that you want to share and that you are comfortable with me sharing, I have business cards coming. And I asked my wife, I said, I can make the business card say whatever I want on it. I mean, what title, whatever. What am I, and she's AI, so she just has known me for long enough to be able to distill things meaningfully down into flip form or whatever. In this case, like a title. And she said, problem solver. I just thought, boy, that covers a lot of ground. But the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, damn right. That's exactly what I am. So me being a problem solver professionally, one could say, please do not hesitate to reach out to me with question, comment, thought, and think. I mean, I will. I'm not going to make any promises on frequency of videos or anything like that. If you are watching and are interested, please know that I am engaged 24. I mean, outside of sleep, this is what I do. I am engaged with this, and I just always will be. So this isn't something that's going to go away in 6 months and I'm going to get tired of it and decide to, whatever. But I could also get hit by a train. So these things happen. But just know that as long as I'm here, and some inside baseball stuff, guys, just remember that when you're really good and really, really, really smart with computers and Meatware, just know that our biological existence is really nice and really neat. But it's just one form. Okay, I'll leave that one for you guys to noodle. I guess that's as good a place as any to call it. So we'll see you guys.